This is part 2 of my story about my dad, Confessions of a Broken Heart, Daughter to Father, part 2. This one is going to be called Almost Puzzled Together. The reason why I called almost was because there were a time that later on, he came back around, like, in my life somewhat eventually. Like, I felt like a part of myself was being puzzled back together again. Like I was broken into a million pieces, and um and I felt like piece by piece I was a little bit like healing, because my dad he wanted to be there little by little. It wasn't a lot, but even though I was hurt, but I was glad that, he's talking to me again. And, I was 16 and pregnant before he found out. And then when I turned 17, like 2 days later, my baby was born on August 20th. And it's funny how I turned 17, then boop, 2 days later, she's born like on the same month that I was born. And that's kind of cute. But what hurt me was that he didn't really came to see me in the hospital. He never visited me, and I was there for like a whole week. And I felt kind of homesick, so I wanted to be home. I mean, part of it felt kind of relaxing because I was there in the hospital, even though I didn't like the food very much. But I don't know, I just felt like, I don't know, it was relaxing, kind of peaceful, even though I barely had any sleep. I stayed up all night. I didn't sleep. I don't know why. I just didn't feel comfortable in a way, because I felt really homesick because I wanted to go home. And when I finally went home, I was like really glad and happy that I went home. And I took my baby with me, and it was just like a whole new beginning, like a fresh start to me. Because even though I was so young, like I was 17, and I was a young mom, my first baby, my child, and just completely crazy. Like, I mean, I was scared. Like, I felt really terrified. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be a mom. Like, I'm a mom. And it was in the summer of August, and I still had pain because, well, I had her naturally. I didn't had a C-section. I didn't had that. I gave birth naturally. It was really quick, like 30 minutes. Believe me, I'm like, damn. I gave birth 30 minutes. I'm like, wow. Anyway, so when I got home, I felt blessed that I had a baby girl, a healthy, beautiful baby girl. I named her Star Ariana. That's her middle name, Ariana. I don't know, I've always wanted the name Star for a girl. And when I look at her, and I was holding her, and then I started crying. I started to cry because I was thinking about my dad, and how I'm like, how could he do this? I know I made a mistake that I got pregnant, but still, he's my father, and he should still love me no matter what I do, the choices I make, or who I am. And that was his grandbaby, and he wasn't there. I was crying. After she was born, it was crazy. I was stressed out a lot because I couldn't sleep at night. I was stressed, and it was hard to sleep because I would have these bags, under my eyes. It was all dark because I didn't have a lot of rest. And it was really hard because I was learning and doing all these things, trying to be a mom, feed her, change her, all this kind of stuff. And it wasn't really easy doing like 2 or 3 things, like go to school in the morning, wake up early, because you have to have a lot of rest. And I slept in school, like I fell asleep in class because I didn't have rest, and it was really hard to stay awake because I couldn't sleep. So there were times that my mom would take care of my baby while I sleep because I needed my rest. And I'm like, thank you, mom. I really need to sleep because I had to go to school. I had to wake up. I can't fall asleep in class. It was frustrating. There were times that I did regret it, and then there were times where I didn't. Because up to now, I love my daughter. I love my child. I would never abandon her or make her feel abandoned, just like my father did. He used to be there for me when I was a kid. When I was a kid, he was always there for me. But ever since the pregnancy, happened, he's like, I'm sorry, but I can't deal with this. I can't be in your life. I can't deal with this. I'm like, what? You said that I was your baby girl. I was your princess. And that you'll love me no matter what. But in the end, you didn't. You backed away. You just left. You didn't see me. You didn't call me. You never bothered to take me out anymore like we used to, daughter and father thing. Like we go out, we eat together, have fun, go to the park like we used to. But no. And even though I made a mistake, but I'm only human, No one's perfect, and I made a mistake, But the baby, you can't blame the baby. She didn't ask to be born. It was my fault, okay? I was young and stupid, okay? I admit I was young and stupid. I wanted to wait, but that didn't happen. I'm not the only girl in the world that got pregnant. There are a lot of other teen or young adults that got pregnant young, like at 19, 18, or 20, or 16, even younger. And he thinks, oh, I made a mistake. I can't be trusted anymore. Like he's perfect. He is not God. My father is only human. He is not God. And it's really hard just to go through this. I'm sorry, I don't want to cry. When I hold my baby, I would cry because I think of my father. I'll be wishing that he was here. I wish he was around. I wish that he would forgive me. I keep begging for forgiveness. I would pray to God for forgiveness. I would pray. I cry in the middle of the night when the baby is sleeping. I would cry quietly. I just cry. And I had a stepfather. He heard me crying. He came in the room. He's like, ¿Qué pasó? ¿Por qué tú estás llorando? Like, in Spanish, he would say, why are you crying? I'm like, porque yo quiero a mi papá. Yo quiero a mi papá. I said that I want my dad. I want him. Porque yo amo a mi papá. Yo quiero mucho. En mi corazón, en mi corazón. I said I love my dad. And I miss him. And I want him back. And I really love my dad. And it hurts me that, he's not here. He's not around. And he just... I felt abandoned by him, by his love. And I was completely heartbroken. And then he came like 4 months later when the baby was like 4 months. He came around. Only once. He only came like one time. Then 3 or 4 months later, he came back again for one day, and then, another, months later, and then months later, he just come around only one time. That's pretty much it. That's all. But little by little, he would come. Only even though it was one day, he came. He brought some gifts for the baby. He bought her clothes and toys, and I thought that was really nice of him. I was speechless. I didn't really say anything much. I just didn't know what to say. I'm just shocked. I didn't know what to say or, act around him. And he got me a necklaces, not this, but another necklace. It's in my room. It's like a snowflake. It's really beautiful. He got me jewelry, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'll accept your gift. I didn't want to be rude, but yeah. It's just things were crazy, when he just left. And little by little, my heart started to heal. So when my birthday came, when I was gonna turn 18, he took me out with my baby on my birthday, and we went out together and he celebrated my day. It was him and his wife that I hate and dislike so much. I'll tell you about her later. You wouldn't even find like the worst part I found out about her. Oh my god. I'll tell you about her like next time in my other story video. Maybe in part 3 or part 4. But anyway, I don't like her. I just don't like her. At first, when I first met her, she was like okay. And little by little, I kind of liked her when I, spent time with her. But part of me felt like I couldn't trust her with my dad, When my dad met girls, I never really trusted them because I felt like they were going to take him away from me. But in the end, he always chose me. In the end, he's like, she's my daughter. And that's what I loved about him. That's what I loved, that he still chose me. And that's a good thing. You should choose your child over your lover, Who are you going to choose? Your child, your son or daughter, or your man or your girl? Like, who's more important to you? If your partner makes you choose between your child or them, of course you're gonna pick your child. Hello. Anyway, on my birthday, he surprised me with the birthday cake. Later on, it was an ice cream cake, and it was vanilla and chocolate, and it was beautiful. And I loved it, and it was amazing. It made me so happy to see him in my life a little bit more. And my birthday, he took me out to a fancy restaurant with my baby and my mom and my stepdad and his wife that I don't like. Whatever, I ignored her, but I still liked my day. It was a really good day, and I felt like, as I said before, I felt like puzzling back all together into one heart. And I felt, little by little that things would change, right? But then, the father of my child, etc. He's a good man. It's just that before, he had this anger problem before. But he really is a good guy. He really is a good man. And I still care about him deeply as a best friend. We're best friends. Well, yeah. Me and him go way back. Me and my ex-boyfriend / baby daddy, father of my child. We have a long history together. But my dad, he don't like him. So when I tried to let my daughter be with her dad, for like a sleepover at his house with his grandma, to be with her dad, spend time with his daughter. And my dad got so pissed off. He got so pissed. And his wife convinced him that, oh, you should leave your daughter. Don't ever speak to her or talk to her again. She is so stupid. Your daughter, this and that. She just gave her baby away. I'm like, what the F? Okay, first of all, I'm 18. I'm not stupid. Second, it's my baby, not yours. You are not my mom. You don't tell me what to do. Okay? You didn't raise me. Okay? She did not raise me. And that baby is my baby that I gave birth to. And fourthly or thirdly, whatever, that's her dad. And if he wants to be with his daughter, he can. You know? He has the right and I have the right. And my dad's wife has no business in that. She has no right to tell me what to do and that she can't be with her dad. The baby. Our baby. She can't be with her dad? Like, F her. So when I was in my room with my laptop, I was just listening to music. I was in my room and my mom wasn't home. She was working. I'm just sitting in my room chilling, just chilling. And then the doorbell rang, and I look at the window. I'm like, it's my dad and his wife. So I'm like, okay, open the door, and he just walks in, frustrated and mad, like, I gotta talk to you. How can you give your baby away? How can you give it to that? I don't want to say he was cursing at me, and he was mad and whatever. And his wife was sitting down on the couch. Well, you know, there was a different couch. And he was walking around like, how can you give your baby to that, you know, mofo? Like, I could just say that, mofo. He said that. And I'm like, so? That's his daughter. He's a crazy man. He's crazy, he said. Oh, he's a crazy guy. I'm like, and your point is he is still her dad. Like, still her dad. And you have no right to say anything about I can't give my baby to her dad who is a good man to her and you want to be with his daughter. And she came out of nowhere saying, Melissa, you're so stupid, okay? You just gave your baby away. Like, you're acting like I sold her to some stranger. Like, really? She's acting like I'm, like, selling her away. Like giving her away to Puerto Rico or some other country or some stranger in the street. Like, I gave her up to adoption or something. I didn't do that. I gave her to her dad. And you know what's the stupidest part? The stupidest part is when my dad calls the cops saying, oh, we got a report for a kidnapping. I'm like, are you freaking serious? When the cops came, right? They were outside talking, and then suddenly I came out the door. I sat down, like this, and the guy was like, so let me get this straight. She gave the baby to the dad, and he's like, right, yeah. My dad was like, yeah, right, that's it. And then the cop was like, so what's the problem? The problem is she gave her baby away, she said. I'm just sitting there like laughing at her face. I'm just laughing at both of them because she's my baby. Like, for real, like, oh my god. And the cop was like, first of all, she's 18. She's an adult now. That's her child. And she has the right to give her baby to the father of the child who has a right also. And he talked to the woman saying, though, he asked her if she was my mom, and she said, no, I'm not her mom. Then you have no right, man. Sorry, but you have no right to interfere with that. You know, that's not your place. That's not your business to tell her what to do, you know. And even though you're the dad, but still, even though you're her dad, you know, she gave her baby to the father of her child. She has the right to do that. And I'm just sitting there like this, like, I was smiling. Yeah, I got up, went inside, and my dad was like, Melissa, I'm sorry. I love you, but I can't deal with this. Bye. And boom, he just slammed the door right in my face. He just slammed the door. He slammed the door in my face. Now I went to the window, I looked, and I watched as I see him leave with that woman in the car and drove off to their apartment. Part of me was like, I didn't cry. I held my ground. I did not cry. But inside, I was sad and crying again. I'm like, really? You left again? He left again. And my mom came home. I told her what happened. And she hugged me and said it's gonna be okay. You know, you don't need him. You know, he's stupid. He's stupid to do that. You know, this is the time. This is the time to show the love of a father, and he just screwed up and didn't do that. No, he just chose his wife over his own daughter. He left with her. He chose her. That was the first time he chose someone over me. And I was afraid that that would ever happen. I was afraid that one day, what if some woman comes into his life and takes him from me? I was afraid of that. I'm his only daughter. And he just left with her. He picked her. And she asked him, "Are you gonna pick me or her?" And he chose her. And you don't know how hurt I am. And I still am till this day. Till this day, I am completely hurt. It's really freaking fucked up. It's messed up. So please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below what you think what I'm gonna say next in my next story of Confessions of a Broken Heart Part 3. And ask me any questions about my dad right now, these days, and how is everything right now. You can ask me questions. You can ask me, just comment down below and ask me about my dad, ask me what's going on right now, ask me about my life, or ask me about my mom or my stepdad story. That would tell you, I could, talk about it a little bit. And if you want, you can ask me for a song request. Like, I might not sing all of them because I'm just, let's just say I'm really picky. Yeah, let's just say I'm very picky with songs, so but comment down below and leave me a song request and I'll probably sing it. I love singing. Ever since I was a little girl, I love to sing and write songs. To me, it's like an escape to the real world. Music is my passion and I love it. And I don't care what people say. If some people like it, that's awesome. If some people think it's stupid or it sucks, F you. I don't really care what you say. I'm still gonna be singing because I love it. It's my passion. It's all I ever known. It's all I'm ever good at, to be honest. So, yeah. Bye!